What's up, you guys? It's your girl, JaeVibez, and we are back for yet again another episode of Unmute and Unwind. And as you guys can see, I don't have my wine here tonight, nor my cellar. I don't feel much like celebrating in that sense, but I'm still willing to use my platform for what is going on right now, the war outside. I feel like it would be completely ignorant, negligent, and disrespectful to not only myself, my race, my daughter, my mental health, to just completely have an episode or a show that does not convey what is most important right now, and that is the war against racism. And so if you are joining in with us, normally we would be taking a nice glass of our wine right now, but I think today we deserve a shot.
A shot of something.
A shot of something, because just wow. What is happening right now in America has to be one of the most disheartening, traumatizing, just completely unearthing feeling that I've had since I've been here. 28 years in America, and of course I have been a person who has experienced racism. I have never, of course, been in any situation, I shouldn't say of course, right? I have never, fortunately enough, been in a situation where I felt like my life was sincerely threatened, but I have definitely been in situations with police officers or law enforcers where I felt like because of the color of my skin, I was either being judged, mistreated, just unjust. And so what I come to you today to talk about is truly, and I'm going to break it down on what is going on, what you need to know about what's going on, and how you can help. Because right now, we don't need a battle against each other. We don't need to be putting other people down because we feel like maybe they're not as educated about what's going on right now. Or some people really don't have an opinion because they're choosing to not see what's going on. But I think it's inevitable at this point. There's no way that you're not seeing what is going on. So the first thing I want to say is, right now in this climate, I refuse to accept anyone who's gray. If you are gray, to me, it is a very black and white situation. It's either that you agree that black people deserve a certain amount of black people deserve respect. Black people deserve the same amount of dignity that we are seeing, people of the white race receive daily. You have to choose. And unfortunately, unity is going to come with the choice, because it's either you are there with them to oppress us, or you are here with us, and we have a long way to go on where we're going. So it boggles me that right now so many people are upset about looting. More mad than the life that was lost. It's crazy. I've seen so many people talk about how people are destroying their own homes. You're destroying your own neighborhoods and this, that, and third. But why do people loot? Why do people loot? I don't know. Let's start with, maybe we tried the peaceful way. We tried to kneel. We tried to walk. We did those things. We did all of those things already. And so now that we're in a situation where you maybe can't make it to your friendly neighborhood Starbucks or Target or the Gucci store, whatever is going on. I saw Shekinah, and I said I wasn't going to talk about anything pop culture, but it just hit me again. Shekinah from Love and Hip Hop, Tiny's best friend or whatever her name is. I don't know if you know, the bigger one. Crying on an Instagram live feed because she was upset that Atlanta tore up the Gucci store. Saying things like, you saw that, right? And my cameraman's laughing because it's insulting. weeping over the fact that a Gucci store was taken apart. But before that, I didn't see any post about what happened to George Floyd. I didn't see any of that. But the thing is, what happens is, and this is what I want people to start doing, I need you to challenge your idols. I need you to challenge the people that you're looking up to. Because if it's just us in this situation, think about it, right? We're mad about people looting and rioting. Let's talk about the sporting events. The one with the Chicago Bulls when they lost. And they tore up their city. Turned over cars. People ran over Charlottesville, Virginia. 2017, I remember it because I had a friend at the time who was from Charlottesville, Virginia, and was embarrassed. Because guess what they did? It wasn't just a regular, normal peaceful protest. There were literally white supremacists, neo-Nazis, Klansmen walking down the street upset that a Confederate statue had been pulled to the ground in honor of the fact that, what was his name? The white guy, Dalton, dates it, whatever. It does not even matter. Your name rings no bells in my heart. Went into a church and shot 9 innocent people who at the time were praying to their God in peace.
In peace.
And what is a more peaceful place to be if not in your home than church? The two places that you should feel safe. And then we have women like Breonna Taylor that are in their homes after their work. She's working a hard day as an EMT. Someone who is in the line of defense to help other people. And in your own home, in the comfort of your home, you are shot down by the people that are put in place to protect us. That is an issue to me that we are more interested in promoting the riots. But the crazy thing is, all this looting, most of the things that you guys are seeing,
it's not just black.
It's not even that it's not just black, Joe Mines. It's the fact that it's being infiltrated by police officers. We've seen too many videos now on Instagram, okay? And I love social media. And I regret ever saying at this point that it was a bad choice. Because if we didn't have this outlet, there's so many things that we are not able to see. There's so many things that we are not able to really document without people having their phones out. So here's the deal, all right? So now they're infiltrating our looting. They're literally sending white people in to hand out bricks. Because what happens is, once law enforcement, infiltrates what we're trying to do, the peace that we're trying to bring, the organization that we have finally come together to do, every time we get this high, they make it their duty to bring us back down. To make sure that the people that are viewing that may be on the fence feel like, well, it's deserved.
Yeah.
But you know what? We have the right to be upset. And we have the right to be angry. We do. We have that right. I'm angry. My energy has been off. No idea that as I was talking to you guys about celebrating in my cabin, when we were up there celebrating on my birthday, Memorial Day, George Floyd was on the ground taking his last breath, calling out for his mother. And you know what? I will say this, and I want to be completely transparent, because what I'm going to get into later is exactly what I'm talking about right now. I am not infatuated with murder porn. I don't get off seeing people die.
Don't cry. It's okay. Take a moment.
We have been looted against for years. They've taken our babies. They've taken our fathers. They've taken our mothers. They've taken our mental health. I have been in situations, I have been in cars where if we're getting pulled over by the police, it can be just, I don't know, we may have ran a stop sign, or sometimes you don't even know what you're actually being pulled over for. I've been the person to reach over if I'm driving with a black man and turn down his music. Make sure that his hands are on the wheel. Straighten up. Don't look too thuggish, because we can't do these things. We're not afforded the same luxuries as you. And so if you are a white listener, if you are someone that doesn't know this pain, I encourage you to start listening to these podcasts. Find a Black voice that you might have believed in. Maybe you have a friend that has some melanin in their skin. And you can ask them each and every day, and we don't mind talking about our pain because we've been suppressed and oppressed for long enough. These things are not accidents. We've never been a part of the society. So why the hell will we care that it's burning down? This was not built for us. And for the Black business owners out there, I want you to know that I am in no way, shape, or form encouraging anyone to destroy anything. What I am saying is I empathize with people who don't have an outlet like me, who may not be able to speak about the pain that they feel, so they destroy things. But we were taught this from you. Everything that is going on is a taught reaction. When we didn't listen, we were beaten. When we didn't listen, Nat Turner built one of the biggest slave rebellions back in the 1900s. And ultimately, he was hung. But you know what? The Travis family that was killed by himself and the other slave members that he was able to get out of those plantations and take them on the run, those things matter. So yeah, number one, you can't be gray. And number two, you can't be fearful. You cannot be fearful. You can't be afraid.
Nah, you can't. You gotta just get out there. You gotta support. You gotta do your part.
You have to do your part, and I want to stop the narrative of canceling everybody. We cancel people left and right. That's the new thing, right? The new wave. Canceling Desi Banks. Here's the deal. What he did was absolutely ignorant. Absolutely ignorant. And here's the deal. I'm not here to talk to you about social media influences today. I'm not here to talk to you about pop culture. But what I am here to talk to you about is, don't you think that there is enough in life, in the life that we live daily, separating us from one another to the point where we don't need to be distracted by figuring out who's canceled and who's not? Do your duty and inform. That is your duty. To inform people on what the right way to think is. Unfortunately, some people don't know how to think. And how do we know that? Because there are white people that still feel the need to kill Black people simply because they're Black. If you are not here, do you understand me? Simply because I am Black, I am a target. And that is upsetting me. I had to let my daughter watch a protest on TV where Keisha Lance Bottoms came in, and for those of you who don't know, Keisha Lance Bottoms is the mayor?
Yeah.
Mayor of Atlanta, okay? And came on the city and told people to go home. And as a mother, and a lot of people were frustrated by that, and I get it. I wasn't really a fan of her protecting the CNN building necessarily, but what I do get is, if you don't go home, I can't protect you. You want to know why? Because no matter what color her skin is and what her title is, there is a disproportionate amount of white supremacy. There's a disproportionate amount of people that are in places of power that will continue to oppress people and judge them because of the color of their skin. So you have to pick a side. Not only that, but going into that, I wanted to talk about this. People want people to go out and vote, right? And I am for that. I am completely for going out and using your opportunity to vote. One, because our ancestors fought for this opportunity. So the least we can do is vote.
Vote.
Because there were women, at first, we couldn't vote. And now it's to the point where people are here, too many young people especially. And then there are the lazy olds, and I mean that are saying things that are discouraging other people who are brave enough to fight, like nothing's going to change. Mm-hmm. We've been going through this for how long?
It can't say nothing is changing because it's all about progress. We're getting somewhere. We done got somewhere. We just haven't gone far enough. And that is the issue.
That's the issue. And there's an immediate call on people in power to make that change. You have to keep going. This is what I say. I want you to pick your lane. Black people, I need you to pick your lane. Here's the deal. I am surrounded by people that come from all different walks of life. And that is black people that come from I'm surrounded by black people who never went hungry. I'm surrounded by black people who are still trying to fetch meals. And then there are people like me that just go through a kind of up and down stage in life. Right? Mm-hmm. You have to know how your passion can contribute to the cause. That's fine if you don't want to go loot. That's fine if you don't know how to get yourself in front of a camera and express yourself to where people feel your shit. But what are you good at? Are you a photographer? Can you get out there on the front line and make sure that you're getting everything so that people are informed? What are you in school for? Are you a writer? My best friend talked to me today, and she said, you know, I hope she's not mad at me for doing this, but I just have to say this. But she said, you know, I go on people's pages, and I say to myself, well, I can do my best to like inform them when I see that they're putting out wrong information, but then I'm just like, oh, that's not really my path. And I had to tell, that's exactly what your path is. If you are knowledgeable enough to have the right information, why not correct people, right? Understand your lane. Every single contribution that we have today is a contribution. It is small parts that make up a big part. And to break it down for those of you who still are not feeling me, don't understand, it's just like in school, right, guys? Just like in school. There's a team project, okay? Everybody's not going to go. Everybody does not have access to the PowerPoint because one person has to be the researcher. One person's going to make that PowerPoint. And then the last person is probably going to be the person to present in class. But ultimately, everyone put in the same amount of effort to collectively come up with something. It is a revolution. It is a war. And if you are ignoring that war, you are a part of the problem. I'm wearing a shirt today for those of you who can see it or whatever. Tupac said, at some point after being outside the door begging for food, and in our sense, begging for equality, begging for the basic necessities of human rights, just humane shit.
It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, with civil rights movement. We was asking, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're gonna do?
Eventually what's happening is we're gonna stop asking and we're just gonna take it.
True.
And if you're fearful that black people are enraged, it's called cause and fucking effect. Mm-hmm. This is the effect of what happens after years of seeing this. I mean, even if you had no knowledge about what happened 400 years ago, if you just take it back to 2012, starting with, okay? Because I don't want to be insensitive to the mothers for the named and unnamed murders. For the mothers who have lost their children, we don't even know. We haven't been able to create a hashtag and make that a trend. For the people that have been falsely accused, everyone didn't die. And that's what I want you guys to understand. It's a bigger battle. Some people are just incarcerated. Some people were abused. Some people are in psych wards and are not crazy because of systematic injustice. Mm-hmm. All right? And it literally just, it takes my breath away every single day to have to wake up. You wake up with a sense of anxiety.
Yeah, you have to, especially in this society.
How are you not affected? But this is what I'm going to say. The thing is, guys, black people, and not guys, I'm speaking directly to you. We cannot be fearful. You have to look at the examples that were set, and we have to beat those examples. Harriet Tubman freed 300 slaves and then went on to work as a nurse in the Civil War, which we know at that very time, she was probably nursing the same people built to oppress her. Hiram Revels of Mississippi was the first congressman. I wouldn't be here without Max Robinson, who was the first broadcaster and anchor. My platform is available for me because someone was brave. So for you that walk around with this nothing's gonna change mentality, I refuse, I rebuke you because you are toxic. And I hope that there are people that are braver than you and that are resilient enough to realize that their purpose, there's so much work to do. So we can't be held back by fear. And we can't be held back by people who are not ready. If you're not ready, stay in your lane. But let me tell you something. You have no right to stop people who are ready to do what needs to be done to ensure that changes are made, to ensure that there are ramifications, that there are ethical ramifications, that people that continue to do this serve the same justice that would have been done to you and I. I couldn't imagine videotaping myself killing a white lady and still being able to talk about it. 4 days it took you guys to put him in jail and now protective custody.
It's not even enough. You got 3 more that'll sit and watch it happen. So
3 more that sit and watch to happen. And the thing is, you guys keep giving us crumbs of justice. We get grains of hope. And it's like, shut up and take that shit and just be happy that we gave you something. There's so much Black trauma. And now I'm scared because I have someone that's looking up to me to make better decisions. And this is a part of history. And so whether this podcast reaches 50 people or 500 people, I just want to make sure that I'm a part of something that mattered. And it should matter to you guys. It should matter. So, I don't want you to believe that's not working, because it's working. It is working, guys. It is working. But I'll leave you with this, because this part I do want to read, because I wanted to make sure that my passion doesn't overpower the purpose of this segment. It literally takes my breath away that the wall of prejudice and the blocks built on bigotry, supremacy, and oppression will not fall easily. That there is so much work to do. That the solution that can combat or caress the pain and trauma we are experiencing is going to take some time. But we are not a protected class. And this is no longer a turn the other cheek generation. We are built on pride, deeply rooted in the beautiful strength of those and the ones that came before us. It is our duty to be just as brave, to be just as bold, to be just as unmoved and definite about our approach. And we cannot be settled by small change. Our voices must remain deliberate. Our approaches must remain deliberate. We must be diligent. We are a race that is indestructible no matter what they do, because we are chosen. But with purpose comes responsibility. So I'm asking you, what are you going to do? I'm JaeVibez. Hey, you guys, make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel, as well as follow me on IG at official JaeVibez. So that's JaeVibez. Thanks.